Presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are LA.
It's been a long road trip for the Angels, and this afternoon from downtown Miami, it comes to an end. The Angels with an opportunity to finish off this 10-game roadie and an even 500. They'll need a victory today against the Marlins to do that. As we welcome you inside Marlins Park and back to Angels baseball here on Fox Sports West. He's Mark Kubica. I'm Victor Rojas. And over the last 10 days or thereabouts, we've seen a couple of things kind of stand out for the Angels on the offensive side. We see Cameron maybe take a hold of that leadoff spot. Andrelton Simmons having a good stretch of games, but always when it comes to the Angels, it all revolves around Mike Trout's having a fantastic run.
Yeah, Victor, really, when you think about coming back from that hamstring strain, he's really crushed the baseball in all three ballparks here on this road trip. The batting average has been there for him also. 345 batting average. He has scored 8 runs, has driven in 6, but the home run ball, 1 in New York, 1 in Tampa. Both of those shots one going the right center, this one the left center, and then the home run here yesterday. You're talking about one that was one for the ages here in Marlins Park. Fastball lower part of the strike zone. He brings his hands in so well. The batting average there, the swings are there. He's carrying the ball club offensively, so it's a lot of fun to watch Trout go out and drive the ball here, especially here at Marlins Park.
Yeah, see if he can do it with the offense today. No Albert Pujols in the lineup, but the one thing that the Angels also have done very well of late is played some solid defense. We'll look back at some of that, especially some of the plays yesterday when we return to Marlins Park. This three-game set. Gooby, we mentioned going to break. The defense has been stellar, and it really has.
Absolutely. That team does not win the game yesterday without that defense. And take a look at our tools of the trade, brought to you by Ram Trucks. From the get-go, the defense was solid. Stanton thinks he has an infield hit, but Anderson Simmons from the outfield grass showing that outstanding athleticism and strong arm. The reaction, though, by Martin Maldonado in a slow roller. He did so many good things throughout this entire road trip, but especially yesterday in that back pick with Stanton at the plate, bases loaded, picks off D. Gordon at first base. Really the key point of the game, and Nolan Fontana showed some great ranges, turned a couple double plays, but also able to make that play to the glove side. But the defense was there. Reason why you win the game. You're going to need that again today.
Yeah, see if they can pick up the W before returning back home to Southern California. We're just about ready for baseball here in Miami. Sit back, relax. Line up some first pitch when we return. Brought to you by our local Southern California Land Rover retailers. By Jack in the Box, come try the new sweet or spicy barbecue bacon cheeseburger and chicken sandwich for limited time only. And by your local Toyota dealers. Let's go places. Welcome back out to Marlins Park, getting you ready, and we were having some fun in the water.
That's why we're a little bit late getting back on. I had to go out and give that a shot.
You would try that?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes, I would.
That looks kind of cool. I know you have this thing about water.
I could be like Iron Man, though. I'd be all right.
No doubt about it. The Angels trying to pick up the victory today and pick up a series win. You mentioned Mike Trout in the open and the road trip that he has had, but when you've got Trout and Stanton in the same building, you do a tale of the tape, and this is what it looks like. I think the surprising one for folks would be the fact that Mike has Stanton by 1 game on homers that have gone 425 feet or further.
That is kind of stunning when you think about all the home runs and the majestic home runs that Stanton has hit. But Trout's are more of a line drive that go a long way, like we saw in yesterday's game. 443-foot home run for Trout. You know, Stanton a little bit taller, very similar as far as age and home runs hit. These two are 2 young superstar players for each club.
Stan looks like The Rock, doesn't he? Dwayne Johnson?
You smell what The Rock is cooking.
The Rock played football here at the University of Miami, but get back to this series and this road trip overall, because when you looked at the schedule, you thought, especially the way the Angels playing at the end of the homestand, all right, you've got some teams that aren't playing their best baseball. Maybe you can go out there 7-3, 8-2 on the high end.
Yep.
Then you come home and you play the Atlanta Braves, the Minnesota Twins. But all of a sudden, you know, you lose some games. You lose 2 or 3 against the Mets. You split a 4-game series against the Tampa Bay Rays, and then you lose the opener against the Marlins. Now you're hoping for a 5-5 finish.
Yeah, and you're right about that, Victor. When you think about this road trip and the homestand, it's where you can make up some ground and get up well above that 500 mark before you end up going eventually in the month of June to New York and Boston, which is going to be a difficult place to play. But you know, they just have to start playing some consistent baseball. The pitching has been there, I think, for the most part. Even though the injuries have been there for the pitching staff, it has been pretty solid, trying to be more consistent on the offensive side.
Yeah, the Angels find themselves 9 games back of the red-hot Houston Astros. The Astros can go 500 the rest of the way and still finish with 90 wins. That's how good they've gone so far through the first 2 months of the season. Mike Social's lineup for game number 53 has Cameron Maybin leading things off, playing in left field. Anderson Simmons at shortstop. He's in the midst of a 9-game hitting streak. Mike Trout's in center. Luis Valbuena will bat cleanup. He's at third with Albert out of the lineup. Cole Calhoun in right field. Martin Maldonado once again behind the plate. Jeffrey Marte gets to start at first base. Nolan Fontana back at second. And in the National League ballpark, it's the pitcher this time, Matt Shoemaker, batting 9th on the mound. Taking on the 25-year-old right-hander, native of Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic. It's Jose Urena on the mound for the Florida Marlins.
Yeah, Urena does have a very good fastball. You're talking about some good movement to it, too. 93 to 98, a slider, and he will throw a changeup also. But my go-to is to be successful against him is look and hunt the fastball. 333 batting average against his 4-seam fastball and drive mistakes. He'll make some mistakes over the middle of the plate, and that's what you have to do, especially the right-handed hitters in the lineup today against him.
Take a look at the defense for the Marlins behind Urena. Osuna, Yelich, Stanton in the outfield, and that's been the case in all 3 games. The infield with Dietrich, Riddle, Cologne, and Bohr from third to first. Real Muto, for the 3rd straight game, is behind the plate.
And often we talk about Stanton and his home run power. There's no questioning that, but he's been pretty solid as far as outfield play. 52 career outfield assists, second most in Marlin history for Giancarlo Stanton, a very good athlete in high school, played football, basketball, and baseball.
Halos picking up the 5-2 victory yesterday to knot this series at a game apiece. A nice outing overall by J.C. Ramirez, who picked up his 5th win of the season. Maybin hitting .247. Swinging first pitch. He'll foul it off. 9 doubles, a triple, 3 home runs, 12 RBIs for Cameron. He was on board 3 times yesterday. A single, a triple, and a walk. Scored 3 runs. Breaking ball lifted foul, 0-2. He also stole 2 bases.
And when you look at the splits too, of lefty versus righty against Urena, lefties 154, but right-handed batters 316. And especially because he pitches inside very well. You see that at 97. Surprising the numbers for right-handed batters against him, especially on his 4-seam fastball. Hitters have had success.
Back inside, and down goes Maybin for the first out. Now, would that lead you to believe that the breaking ball or secondary pitches against righties are just not that good? The guys are laid off.
It's flat, and it's going to be out on the barrel of the bat. If you can rush a fastball inside like that, it's very difficult for right-handed batters to get the barrel out. So it has to be the breaking ball, and even change-up at times against right-handed batters, certainly not against left-handed batters.
Andrelton Simmons with at least one hit each of the first 9 games, and he'll foul that one off his foot.
Again, another fastball inside. The only danger of staying inside with a fastball that he throws, if it drifts out over the plate, that is the baseball that right-handed batters have had success hitting out of the ballpark. That ball right off the top of the foot of Andrelton Simmons.
Trying to walk it off. Raised his average to 283. 4 home runs, 20 runs batted in.
Fastball in and then right off above, right in the shin area.
It's a fastball and he pops it up on the third base side. This one toward the seats, and it'll be out of play.
In my Hyundai Key for this game tonight, going Allman Brothers, under Greg Allman. Ain't wasting time no more. That means go out and hunt that fastball first pitch, especially right-handed batters. That's where you're going to try to be the most successful against them. 5 home runs for right-handed batters. 4, I should say, of the 5 against righties against them.
Trout on deck. 1 out. 0-2 count on Simmons. And down goes Andrelton. 2 away.
See, that's the breaker ball. That's a hanging breaker ball he got away with. Inner half of the plate. Simmons just missed this one. It's supposed to go down and away. Backs up right into that hitting zone. Boy, right-handed batters have had success against him.
For as good as stuff as Urania has, it's interesting that he only has 20 strikeouts in 38 innings. Well, now you can add 2 to that because he's punched out the first 2. Not racking up a ton of strikeouts.
No. Not for that type of stuff.
Right. And first one in on Trout. Mike hitting .342. 16 home runs and 36 runs batted in. Lifts this one out toward right field, toward the corner. Slicing away from Stanton, out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And you can tell for the most part, he's going to try to pitch inside against Trout. But if he throws one of those sliders, one of those cement mixers that we just saw to Andrelton Simmons, that's going to be troubles. Trout is going to hit that one a long way.
Urania's 11th game of the year, 5th start. Worked out of the pen early. 1-1. 2 balls and a strike. 2-2 as a starter with a 3.57 ERA. As a reliever, no record and a 2.35. Gave up some runs at his last start against Oakland. That's why that starter ERA jumped up a little bit. There's a non-committed breaking ball. 3-1. That's that indicator.
Yeah.
You don't trust your stuff, and you know the numbers against right-handers. Let me just waste this one, I guess.
And I'm sure he saw that swing from Trout yesterday. I'm thinking, I don't know if I'm going to be willing to throw a fastball inside. And Trout has shown a ton of patience, leading the American League in walks, on base percentage, batting average, home runs.
3-1.
Chase that changeup.
Yep.
See that changeup straight down. Pretty good pitch. Batter's only hitting .182 against his changeup this season, with no home runs against the changeup.
Payoff pitch. This is rolled foul into the dugout.
Well, how many times you said full count with Trout at the plate, especially even on this road trip? He's seen a lot of pitches again this season. He has been more aggressive early in counts, and a lot of success on that first pitch, but generally sees a lot.
And he gets him. Punches him out with that breaking ball, and Urania strikes out the side. We'll head to the bottom of the first with no score. Game, and we'll take a look at Don Mattingly's lineup for the Miami Marlins at 17-30 on the season, 12.5 back, bringing up the rear of the National League East. JT Riddle will lead things off with no D Gordon in the lineup. Riddle the shortstop, stands in right, Yelich in center. Ozuna, the cleanup hitter in left field. Bohr at first base. JT Realmuto is behind the plate. Derek Dietrich at third. Christian Colon at second, and Urania batting ninth and doing the pitching as they take on Matt Shoemaker, making his 11th start of the season. On the season, 4-2 and a 3.97 ERA, but he certainly turned things around in the month of May.
Yeah, his last 3 starts very, very solid for Matt Shoemaker. 1.45 ERA for Shoe, and he's getting back to throwing strikes and being aggressive. A little over a 4-to-1 ratio between strikeouts and walks over these last 3 starts as compared to earlier in the season. Barely, he was under 2-to-1 compared to what he did last season.
JT Riddle, the shortstop, hitting .242 with a couple of home runs, 5 doubles, 10 runs batted in. Batting in the bottom third of the order the first 2 games of this series. Had a 1-for-4 game yesterday with a double, and he takes outside for ball 1. Valbuena in on the grass at third. That'll leave it to count. Riddle, 25-year-old from the University of Kentucky, 13th round pick in 2013. Teammate of Alex Meyer. Bounces this one over to Fontana at second. 1 down. Take a look at the Angels on the defensive side of things with Cameron Mabe at left, Mike Trout at center, Cole Calhoun at right, the infield Luis Valbuena and Andrelton Simmons on the left side, Nolan Fontana, Jeffrey Marte on the right, and surprisingly Martin Maldonado, the Iron Man, still behind the plate.
Behind the plate once again. And generally with Shoemaker, even though he got a ground ball out the first out of the game, a fly ball pitcher, Cole Calhoun out and right, 1 outfield assist, 1 error this season. Had 5 E's last year, but 2015 won the Gold Glove in right field.
Giancarlo Stanton at the plate, the right fielder. Check swing foul, and that got into the seats quickly behind the Angels dugout. Didn't appear to hit anybody, so that's good. Stanton at .272, 12 home runs and 33 runs batted in.
As you can see at the plate, he has been aggressive, swinging. Better plate coverage, has not struck out in this series yet.
Two on count. Last time out, Shoe was picking up the W against the Tampa Bay Rays. No runs, 3 hits, 6 1/3, had 5 strikeouts, 3 walks. 3 straight wins for Shoemaker against the Tigers, White Sox, and those Rays. As this one's lifted out toward left field and hit well. Maben going back on it. It is 1-0 Marlins on a breaking ball away. Stanton hits his 13th of the season.
Yeah, we talked about Stanton in this series, more contact, better plate coverage, has moved closer to the plate. Any kind of mistake, he's going to hit it well. Slider that drifted out over the plate and was able to get the barrel of the bat, and how strong he is. Another home run for Stanton, his 13th of the season. 11th given up by Matt Shoemaker.
Here's Christian Yelich. .269 average for Yelich. 6 home runs, 21 runs batted in. 1 for 4 yesterday with a single.
Stanton talking about how he was able to get the barrel of the bat out on that breaking ball away.
Two on count.
Talked about how well Shu has pitched in those last 3 starts. He had just given up 1 home run in 3 starts, giving up 9 in his first 7.
This one's sky to left. Two down. Over down boy for Marcell Ozuna coming to the plate.
Not unusual for Matt Shoemaker to get a fly ball out. When you look at percentages of fly balls, 48.4% fly balls. That's the 4th highest in the majors. But the others above him, very good pitchers himself. Verlander, Straley, who's had a great year for the Marlins, and Max Scherzer. Been dominant again for the Nats.
Interesting thing about all 3 guys, 2 of which live in the mid to upper 90s, as Ozuna fouls this one back. At Straley, whom we saw, lives at 90.
Yep.
All upper part of the strike zone guys. 2 of them could just blow right by you.
Yeah, but a lot of guys, we saw it even in Tampa, how they're trying to go upper part of the strike zone with a 4-seam fastball and getting those fly ball outs or swing and misses.
Funny thing about that is that you don't look at Shu and his stuff and say, all right, he's a guy that's living in the upper part of the strike zone.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
He's getting a lot of those fly balls on, especially on his slider and even his split.
Got away with a mistake there.
Again,
you see Ozuna walking around.
Yeah, that's an off-speed pitch. That's where it gets underneath it. The batters will pop it up. That's a hanging slider.
There it is. The old hitter talking to himself.
Yeah. I always love that too, because the next pitch I'm going to bounce one because he's going to be over aggressive more than likely.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
That's a split, a little quick on that delivery for Shu.
Ozuna had a 3-hit game yesterday, 2 singles and a home run. Hitting .311 now, 12 home runs, 34 runs batted in. 2-2. Full count.
Yeah, I think he has a chance to get Ozuna to chase that pitch, the pitch before.
Lifted out to right. Cole has to come in on it. Fontana's going out. Cole taking charge. And the bottom of the first in the books, but Stanton gives the Marlins a 1-0 lead as we head to the second. Cal Chevy dealers find new roads as we start the second here at Marlins Park, wrapping up this 10-game road trip. Halos down 1-0. Beginning the second inning, courtesy of Giancarlo Stanton's 13th home run of the season. That was off Matt Shoemaker. The Angels, on the other hand, at the top of the first, all went down swinging. Maven, Simmons, and Trout all punched out by Jose Urena.
And having faced him before, the majority of the hitters in this lineup, so advantage Urena early on. Because he got away with two, I thought, hanging breaking balls. Especially the one to Simmons, even the one to Trout. When Trout stays back, he'll hit that ball very well to right center.
Valbuena pops it up on the left side. Dietrich with the catch. One away. Hey, join the Angels for Beach Week this Thursday as they take on the Minnesota Twins at 7:07. Fans in attendance will receive a beach towel courtesy of San Diego Safari Park while supplies last. For more information, go to angels.com.
Can't wait. The beach towels.
So 1 out, nobody on, and Calhoun coming up.
Boy, Cole generally very aggressive on the first pitch. He might have let a real good one go to do some damage on it. See the frustration tapping his cleats after taking that change, that fastball in the middle.
Cole at .212 with 5 home runs, 16 runs batted in. Oh for 3 yesterday with a walk. Cole reaching for it, little dribbler. Urena has him, he'll fly a tag. 2 down.
You can see why he's so effective against left-handed batters. He showed a fastball first pitch and some pretty good solid all-speed pitches from that point forward. As a left-handed batter reaching, especially on a changeup or even his slider going away.
Martin Maldonado at .265 for 3 home runs, 12 runs batted in. 0 for 3 yesterday. It was hit by a pitch. That one a little inside. Urena certainly, we heard this from Rich Waltz, the TV play-by-play voice of the Marlins before the game, and talking about Urena. He's certainly not afraid to pitch inside, which is saying something for a guy that works from the first base side of the rubber.
Yeah, it's not easy to get the fastball in against right-handed batters from that side of the pitching rubber. But that being said, as a hitter now, if he falls into that pattern each and every time, well, we've seen it quite a bit. Fastballs in first pitch against right-handed batters. You just look early and turn on it.
Two one, 3-1. Ground ball foul at the third base side. So full count. 5 up, 5 down for the Angels against the young Dominican.
Been very efficient so far also, just 26 pitches thrown.
Got to the big leagues for the first time in 2015. Last year, 28 games, 12 starts, with an ERA just over 6. Fastball called strike 3, so 6 up, 6 down, and 4 strikeouts for Urania. 1-0 Marlins as we hit to the bottom of the second. Second inning. I'll remind you to join the Angels this Friday. Beach Week continuing. Twins are in town on Friday. Fans in attendance get a Shark Rally Monkey courtesy of St. Joseph Hogue Health while supplies last. For more info, just go to angels.com. Matt Shoemaker to face Bohr, Real Muto, and Dietrich for the Fish here in the second. One ground down, 2 fly ball outs, and then the slider for a home run to Stanton. Justin Bohr, the first baseman, at 278, 13 home runs, 33 RBIs. Homered in the series Friday night against Jose Alvarez. Takes upstairs. It was once a 25th round pick at a George Mason University by the Chicago Cubs. Marlins took him as a Rule 5 selection prior to the 2014 season. Big kid, a lot of power. Even some of the ground balls we've seen.
Yes.
Exit velocity is pretty high.
Yeah, he doesn't get cheated, that's for sure. And he's got a pretty short, compact swing. Strong left-handed batter.
This one's lifted out toward right center. Cole coming in. One down.
Again, another fly ball out for Matt Shoemaker. Early on, very important for Shoe to try to keep it close here. Get some quick outs until the hitters get a good read against Urania, as he is throwing the ball very well early on. And have not seen him before. Shoemaker 1-0 in his career versus the Marlins, 7 shutout innings.
JT Realmuto, the catcher. Caught all 3 games as well. 303 average. This is his 42nd game of the year. Did not go. 2-0. Maldonado playing in his 44th.
When you look at the Marlins, this is their 48th game of the season, the 53rd of the season for the Angels.
3 balls, no strikes. Three one. Foul back, full count.
Good life on that 92-mile-an-hour fastball from Shu.
Realmuto goes down swinging on a fastball. 2 down. First punch out for Shoemaker.
Four-seam fastball with good late action going away. Almost cut action on that one from Shoemaker. Good spot, good velo.
Nice job coming back too from being down 3-0. Dietrich back at third base. Colon got the start there yesterday. Colon moving over to second today. .14 strikes, 13 balls for Shoemaker so far. Dietrich hitting .223.
Talk about all the games that Maldonado and the rest have been playing. When you think about it, 3 off days, 63 games played it will be before the next off day, and that's another travel day. So 2 of the 4 off days, travel days back east for like Scioscia's club. So a lot of games played. See some hitters now. We saw that of late against Shoemaker, though he's thrown quite a few splitters. They're looking for the split, and he's spotted his fastball well.
One ball, 2 strikes.
There was a splitter. Shoemaker. Batter's hitting 172 off a split coming into this game, with 6 home runs allowed. But over the stretch of last 3 starts, it's 133 batting average with 1 home run allowed. So he's made an adjustment with his splitter, and he's even got more consistent with it of late.
Oh, cued off the end of the bat toward third. Valbuena has it. Shoemaker with a 1-2-3 second. We'll head to the third. The Angels down 1-0.
clean, crisp Coors Light. The Cavaliers and Warriors going at it for the 3rd straight year in the NBA Finals. Same teams have met 3 straight World Series just once in baseball. The Giants and the Yankees, 1921-22, and then the Yankees beat the Giants in 1923. So the Cavs and Warriors going at it again for the NBA championship. Looks like the Warriors will be favored in that series. Each have won 1.
Should be a good series nonetheless. Starts sometime in July, right? They need the extra days off. Marte is swinging a miss. No balls, 2 strikes. Bottom third of the order for the Angels here in the 3rd. Marte, Fontana, and Shoemaker. The Angels have yet to get a man on board against Jose Urena, who has struck out 4.
Yeah, the funny thing about that is when you think of the off days between Eastern Conference, Western Conference championships, and the NBA Finals, more off days than Mike Scioscia's club has had the entire season already. And then some.
Jeffrey came in batting 172 on the season. A pulled it foul.
Turn on that changeup. Imagine he's going to go with a fastball now.
No Pujols in the lineup today, getting the day off. Played first of the last 2 games. So Jeffrey gets a starting nod at first base. This is lined up the middle. It's a base hit. A leadoff single for Jeffrey.
Yeah, he got that fastball, was elevated. Good swing from Marte. Out over the plate after changeup was down. See the sequence, a couple well off the plate, and that one upper part of the strike zone away, lines it into the outfield for a single. There's Albert, ready to go tomorrow against Atlanta.
Fontana takes a strike.
And Albert at some point, if need be, will be available to pinch hit in this game.
Fontana yesterday 0 for 4 as he rolls this one foul.
See, this is the difference between an American League and National League game in the American League ballpark. In this situation, more than likely, you might see Fontana asked to bunt, but with Shoemaker, Matt Shoemaker, the pitcher, on deck, he's swinging away today.
Nolan getting back-to-back starts at second. And Nolan goes down swinging for the first down. Strikeout number 5 for Urena.
This 20 strikeouts the entire season. 5 already here. Good changeup again. Talk about the batting averages for lefties against them. 154 coming into the game. Shoemaker will be asked to bunt.
Urena has it, goes to second base, a high throw, and safe at second is Marte.
You can hear all the way up here Real Muto saying second, 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 2, and then the high throw. And then high throw. Riddle tried to sell it. That was out into the outfield. Marte stayed on the base though. See, a lot of times you'll see a pitcher when you field a bunt like that, bring the arm up, a regular throwing motion, you stay low, and in an athletic position like you're an infielder, you have a better chance of making a good throw to a base. Elevated instead.
Maven lines on the right center field, a base hit. And being stopped at third is Marte. Yelich with a good arm. Gets to it quickly and gets it in.
And an accurate throwing arm. That's right on the plate. That's a good decision for Ron Renneke. Good swing again by Cameron Maybin. Continues to put up that good numbers since moving to the leadoff spot. This time he stayed back on that slider, shortened up his swing, lines in the right center field. Yelich charged that very well. No chance to send him.
Tell you what, that is not an easy play for a right-handed outfielder who's going to his left to be able to straighten up and throw a straight throw to the plate.
And he got around that baseball well enough to have that clear path and that line going right towards home plate.
Bases loaded, 1 out. Angel Simmons a strikeout victim his first time. He'll swing first pitch, pop it, foul. This one behind the Angels dugout. No balls and a strike.
Yeah, you had that feeling he was going to try to sneak a fastball in on Simmons, and Simmons was trying to be ready to get it. Very good on this road trip, nearly 460 with his batting average.
A little soft liner towards short. 2 down. Everyone gets back. Maybin. A little hesitation there. I thought for a second. Tell you what, if Riddle's looking up, they might double up Maybin. I think Cameron was wondering whether or not he was going to play it on the short hop.
Short hop, exactly. Now it's time for the driver's seat, brought to you by the new 2017 Kia Sorento. Trout with the bases loaded up here now. 16 games since his return from that hamstring strain. 8 big flies, 15 RBI, 493 on base percentage also.
Struck out in the first.
Oh, he's ready for that changeup. Trout so good on a changeup, especially lower part of the strike zone. Just a little bit off the zone. Big moment already in this game for the Angels and Mike Trout.
Marte at third, Shoemaker at second, Maybin at first. 1-1.
Coming into the game, opponents hitting over 300, 313 with runners in scoring position against Urania. That is a spot right now for the best hitter in baseball to do some damage.
One. Ground ball towards short. Riddle comes charging in. He's only placed to first. They get Trout as the Angels leave him loaded. We enter the bottom of the third with the Marlins up 1-0. to team up with Homes for Our Troops, building mortgage-free, specially adapted homes nationwide for severely injured post 9/11 veterans. Learn more about how Homes for Our Troops is enabling our veterans to rebuild their lives and visit foxsportsupports.com. 1-0 Marlins, bottom of the third. The Angels with the pretty good opportunity in the top of the inning. Bases loaded and 1 out with Simmons and Trout. Credit Jose Urena, make some quality pitches. Get Simmons on a soft fly out and Trout to ground out. Shoemaker back to work here. He'll face 8, 9, and 1. Colon, Urena, and Riddle. Matt had a little extra time since he was on the bases, taking his time to get back into the dugout before getting his warm-up pitches in.
Urena made some really good pitches, especially that one to Simmons. Not easy to do that, throw some pitches inside with the bases loaded. So if you hit a batter, it's a run scored. And he threw that changeup first pitch to Trout. He fouled it off, a pretty good pitch to do some damage, and then eventually gets a ground out to short.
Christian Colon, the former Kansas City Royal, 2 for 8 since being picked up off waivers by the Marlins. Lifts this one out to left, not very deep. Maybe it comes in. 1 down.
And so far in this game for Shoemaker, other than the one mistake he made in the first inning to Giancarlo Stanton, a slider that was pretty much the heart of the plate at 86, he's made an adjustment, trying to make some pitches. He'll splitter, gets more of the pop-up fly ball pitcher it has been, and that good fastball 93 late movement, avoiding that strike zone. That's the importance for Matt Shoemaker, getting hitters to swing at pitches that are not strikes.
Urena, wanting no part of that pitch, steps out, takes a strike. He's 1 for 10 this year. Shoemaker with 1 strikeout, no walks. 1 hit allowed. That was a home run to Stanton in the first. It's 0-2. Doesn't quite look comfortable at the plate.
And it's 1 for 10. See that quite a bit for pitchers already stepping in the bucket. Very difficult to have coverage outside part of the plate. Wow, that's a good pitch.
One, 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Down goes Urena, 2 outs. Second strikeout for Shoe. Top of the order now, JT Riddle coming to the plate. Riddle grounded out to Fontana at the bottom of the first. Kentucky Player of the Year. Didn't we have Scott Downs who was a Kentucky Player of the Year?
Yes, we did.
At one point in his life. No balls, 2 strikes. Got a piece of it to keep his at-bat alive. Tried to run that one back and it misses. 7 straight retired by Shoemaker since the home run to Stanton. And foul tipped into the mitt in a 1-2-3 inning, and Chu gets back-to-back strikeouts, his 3 in the game. We'll head to the 4th. Halos down 1-0. By the Hyundai Better Than Ever sales event with the best total savings on select models in Hyundai's history is going on now at your Hyundai dealer.
1-0. Miami leads it.
We are in the top of the 4th here in South Florida. Angels and the Marlins splitting the first 2 games of the series. We've had some great weather, some good food, good time, and wrapping up this 10-game road trip before heading home. Memorial Day tomorrow, 6:07 start with the Atlanta Braves in town for 3. And then the Minnesota Twins in the house.
The first place Minnesota Twins in the AL Central.
Time was called by Valbuena. Urania didn't see it. Tried to stop his motion. Thought for a second there maybe he hurt himself. Luis popped out to the third baseman Dietrich in the second. He's 0 for 1. Valbuena 4 for his last 45. Cole's in a tough stretch as well.
Yeah, the two of them combined, what, 12 for 107.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Luis didn't like that pitch. He thought it was off the plate. Valbuena will go down swinging for out number 2. Or pardon me, out number 1, excuse me.
Slider in off the plate. Pretty good rotation in that pitch. Unable to make contact. Balbuena.
There's Cole. Little dribbler on the right side of the infield that Urania picked up. Just missed it. 2 balls, no strikes. Urania with 6 strikeouts with 1 out here in the 4th. That matches a career high for him. August 27th last year against San Diego right here. Did that over 5 2/3. No walks, 2 hits allowed. Two.
Oh, we've seen him hit a double in this series to left field. Looks like he's going to have to do so, especially whether it's a fastball or slider. Changeup. Might try to turn on that one. There was a changeup again. It's a very good power changeup.
Maldonado on deck. Cole calls for time. Here's the payoff. And Cole takes the walk.
Very similar pitch you got Balbuena to swing and miss at. Cole takes it, gets on base. .42 starts this season for Martin Maldonado. Even more so than Salvador Perez, who seems to catch every single game for Kansas City. It's a good hit and run candidate right here with Maldonado and Cole at first. Maldonado handles the bat very well. Long look down to Ron Renneke.
Royals have played 48 games to the Angels 52 prior to today. Martin struck out looking in the 2nd.
You think about it, Maldonado, we just showed that graphic. 42 starts behind the plate. His career high as far as starts, 66 back in 2015.
He'll get that by the All-Star break.
Yes. Good time to try that hit and run.
Foul back. One-two count. Halos with 2 hits. The Marlins with 1. That was it tight. Counting it up. 58 pitches now by Urania.
Maldonado was not giving in on that pitch inside. He was going to take that hit by pitch. You know, he's a tough guy. That was rushing up there 96, 97. Just kind of turned the shoulder into it.
Full count. Jeffrey Marte on deck. Leadoff single for him in the third.
Already 16 pitches thrown this inning. I believe Cole will be on the move. 3-2 count with 1 out. 2 stolen bases on the season for Cole.
Cole's on the move, and Martin rips one out to deep left field, a no-doubter. 2-1 Angels.
What a solid at bat by Maldonado. Worked a full count, gets that mistake. Another home run allowed by a right-handed batter by Urena, and drives it out. 2-run shot. 4th home run, 14 RBI, hanging slider, heart of the plate. Talked about that earlier. Remember, Victor, about troubles against right-handed batters? That slider, a flat slider to the barrel of the bat, and well out to left field by Martin. That's why he's playing all these games.
Yeah. Base is clear for Marte. 4th of the year, now with 14 runs batted in. Jeffrey takes a strike at the knees.
All 3 hits in this game by right-handed batters against Urena.
Two balls and a strike. Just paints the inside part of the plate. Now the thing is too with Urena, the fact that he pitches inside, falls off the first base side, has to have a residual effect on the breaking ball.
Yeah, because it drops that arm angle, the wrist. It's a flat breaking ball, the slider. Changeup's a much better pitch, in my opinion, than the slider.
Yes.
It's a real good, it's a plus changeup.
That's ripped foul. Watch out, incoming.
Wow.
Don't be afraid to move, people. Jeez. But back to Urena. But the guys like that fall off, whether you're a righty falling off at first or lefty falling off the third, you're not going to fix that. That just is what it is.
That's your mechanics.
Yeah.
And there's going to be times where you're still able to play catch up flying open like that and still have that good sharp break to a slider, but there's going to be a number of times where it flattens out. Right, does have a special arm. There's no doubting that.
Yeah. And that's downstairs for a walk.
That's 3 straight batters going full counts. Very economical. The first 3 innings is 43 pitches thrown, already 24 in this inning, and only 1 out.
Juan Nieves, pitching coach, out to pay a visit.
See, the first 3 innings pretty solid, including 5 punch-outs in the first 3. He has 1 here in the 4th, with 2 walks and a home run, 24 pitches thrown.
Nolan Fontana due up here with the man on, 1 out. Ready to strike out Valbuena, but then Calhoun working a walk. Maldonado on a 3-2 pitch, hammering one out to left field. And Marte with a walk now. 2-1 Angels. We're in the fourth. Maldonado's home run, 105 miles per hour off the bat, 411 feet. Nolan struck out in the third, so he's 0 for 1. Wonder how much of this little frustration is kind of creeping in for Urania.
Yep. Yeah, he's overthrowing a lot of pitches right now, flattening out both his fastball and slider. Here's your shot to do some damage before he settles back in, because the first 3 innings he was very, very good. Especially when those pitches he made to Simmons and Trout with the bases loaded.
3-0 with Shoemaker on deck. He's talking with Scioscia. Love to have that one back.
Yes.
(3-1) and there's a walk, the third of the inning.
And this is time when we saw Mike Scioscia talking with Matt Shoemaker, depending on whether there's going to be 1 or 2 outs. Now you'll probably see him square around the bunt. There's always that possibility, that little slash play. They were working on that a lot over the last 3 weeks or so for the pitchers. Square around the bunt, bring the bat back, and just try to punch that into the outfield on the ground when the corner infielders come in and expect the bunt.
Corner infielders coming in. He'll swing and miss. Runners go, and nobody's covering, so stolen bases. Both third and first, Dietrich and Bohr respectively, crashing with Shoemaker showing. Riddle, the shortstop, stayed at home. That still would have been a bang-bang play if Riddle moves toward third base.
This is exactly what we thought was going to happen. Shoemaker squares around early, brings the bat back, and is going to have that slash play, but nobody covering at third. Now you have a potential of a safety squeeze here for Shoemaker. Chance to help yourself as a pitcher at the plate.
Infield in. 0-1. Fouls it back.
Urania's trying to go upstairs. More difficult pitch to bunt and get on the ground.
Reached out a fielder's choice in the third inning. 0 for 5 in his career.
Trying to stay upstairs with his fastball. Squaring around again.
And he'll go down swinging for round number 2. So second and third, 2 outs, and here comes Maven. Seventh strikeout for Urania, so now it's a personal best for him.
Let's take a look at our mini countryman player profile. Cameron Maven, what he has done in 11 starts, hitting leadoff, .439 batting average. .540 on base percentage, has scored 13 runs, has been on base 27 times. Cameron loving that leadoff spot. Boy, a lot of pitches thrown here in this inning. Some movement now in the bullpen for the Marlins.
2-0. Strike. Three balls, one strike. Simmons on deck. We're in the fourth. Halo's up 2-1, courtesy of the Maldonado home run, his fourth of the year. Angels trying to get a little bit more out of it. Action now in the Marlins pen. Maven fouls him at the plate. Full count.
That's a good pitch to do some damage. Maven just missed it.
Three-two on the way. And he walked him. The fourth walk of the inning, and they're loaded up for Andrelton.
Oh, but those 3-2 counts too, so a ton of pitches. Coming into the inning, 43 pitches through 3 innings. On the flip side, though, if you're the Angels, you got to score some extra runs here with 4 walks in an inning. Juan Nieves on the phone. Wants to a no-hitter from Milwaukee back in 1987.
Breaking ball, top part of the zone. It's kind of a generous call. 0-1.
Especially when you see a pitcher with 4 walks in an inning. Don't get those borderline calls all that much.
Marte at third, Fontana at second, Maven at first. Andrelton 0 for 2, struck out in the first, little soft liner in the third. Oh-2, and that's lined out toward left field. Here comes Osuna. He'll make the catch of the Angels for the second straight inning. Leave them loaded, but the Angels do take the lead here in the fourth, Gooby.
Yeah, it was on the home run and a great at bat by Martin Maldonado. A 2-run shot, giving the Angels a 2-1 lead. Prolific power hitters. It's worthy of a Carl's Cam replay on Friday night. Giancarlo Stanton against Jesse Chavez. The coverage on the outside part of the plate. Trout yesterday, the inside part of the plate. The power they create, the shortness of their swings, and the distance on both those shots by Stanton and Trout. Combined 29 home runs between the two of them this season. Stanton with 2 home runs in the series. Trout with that shot yesterday. Certainly worthy of a Carl's Cam replay. That power swing for both.
Halos up 2-1. Shoemaker to face 2, 3, and 4. Stanton, Yelich, and Osuna. Three strikeouts for Shoemaker, no walks, 1 hit allowed, and that was that home run in the first.
So splitter, first pitch, slider away, second pitch. So that angle, camera through that aquarium, looking out towards home plate. The fish swimming by.
Aquarium on both sides of the on deck circles. Very South Florida. You know, the fish in the water and stuff. 2-1 pitch. Stanton lines one out to right center field. It's a base hit. Cole over to try to cut it off. Does so. And Stanton will stay right there. It's a leadoff single.
Go back to the swing by Stanton once again, and we talked about the better plate coverage he has closer to the plate. Lines out when the right center field. Stays back, didn't try to pull it, lines it for a single.
Yelich hit a fly ball to field in the first. 0 for 1.
Stanton now 5 for 11 in this series.
Stand now with both of the Marlins hits. One ball, one strike. A couple of other scores in the American League. Games that are currently being played. Yankees leading the A's 6-2 in the 5th. Toronto trailing Texas 2-1 in the bottom of the 4th. Cleveland leading Kansas City 3-1. That game's in the 5th. Boston and Seattle scoreless at Fenway. They're in the 3rd. Houston just underway. They're down 2-0 in the bottom of the 1st to the Orioles. Here it's 2-1 Angels. Good off-speed pitch. Mentioned Houston continues just to play good baseball. They've won 3 in a row. Now 34-16 on the season. Easily the best record in baseball. Halos at the start of the day 9 back. Texas 10. Oakland 11. Seattle 13. Second best record in baseball on winning percentage, the Colorado Rockies, 32-19. Yelich grounds one to the right side. Fontana's got it. Little bit of a stutter there. Yeah, and that cost the double play, but they get the lead runner one down.
Still, and Simmons pointed right at him. That's a heck of a play to begin with. Couldn't quite get the baseball on the transfer, but good range. That ball was hit very well by Yelich. You see where he's playing more so up the middle to slide and try to get a better grip on it, quicker on the release. But still gets that force out at second on the transfer. Couldn't quite get that grip, but still very impressive defense by Fontana.
Sometimes you get a young player that even tries to force that to second base without the good grip,
and then
try to get the double play. They sail it, and all of a sudden you still have 2 men on with nobody out.
Ends up being almost like a changeup grip. You just want to make sure you get that lead runner. You still have a double play in order.
Yelich at first. Here's Osuna. And Marcel takes down low. Hit a fly ball to right in the first. Marlins left fielders 0 for 1. Marlins don't run a whole lot, especially with D. Gordon out of the lineup today. 20 stolen bases on the year. Yelich has 3 of them. Gordon has 14.
Good slider there from Shoemaker. She was allowed 3 stolen bases in 6 attempts against him. Keep in mind that best move he has to first base is before he gets in set position. He will throw over quickly, trying to catch the base runner, trying to establish his lead. And what we see now of late, and all the reports get around baseball, is that the base runners are starting a little bit slower as far as establishing their lead, waiting until Shoemaker gets into set position before they establish the length of their lead. Again, he tries it again.
Ball and a strike with 1 out. One and 2.
That's a hitter guessing off speed. Frustrated. Second time already in this game we see the frustrated Osuna at the plate. He had a slider earlier in that first at bat, took it down the middle, now takes a fastball down the middle.
One-two pitch, and he'll shoot this one to right. 2 down. Yelich back to first.
Osuna decided to run down the line with the bat still in his hand. He's still frustrated.
Justin Bour hit a fly ball to right in the second. 0 for 1.
Turned 29 today. Birthday boy. Kirk Gibson's same birthday. Gibby turned 60 today.
Shoemaker at 56 pitches. 36 strikes. Shift on with the Bour at the plate. Montana's out in shallow right. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Back-to-back splitters from Shoemaker to Bour.
2-1 count. A short lead for Yelich at first. Very similar to the pitch that got Bohr out in front, hit the fly ball to shallow right center in his first AB.
Yeah, he was guessing and looking fastball there. Shoemaker threw him a split finger fastball instead.
Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. A 2-1 Angel lead here in the 4th. This one lined to left as they're going to hang up for Maben, and he got a bad read on it. If he just continues to run in, he makes the catch, and it's the 3rd out. But for whatever reason, the stutter step, and it goes as a base hit. So the Marlins have runners at the corners with 2 down.
Yeah, the hesitation. You come in there, I don't even think you have to slide for that baseball.
Camp's had his issues defensively this year.
Yeah, always the hardest baseball is the one right at you, but if you commit to coming in right away, I don't even think he has to slide in on that when he makes that run in with his speed and his stride.
JT Realmuto at the plate. He struck out of the 2nd.
See if Shu can pick him up now.
Popped him up. Fontana calling for it. Nice job by Shoemaker to get Realmuto on 1 pitch. We'll head to the 5th inning. Trout to lead things off with the Angels up a run.
West is being brought to you by the all-new 2017 Subaru Impreza. Subaru's symmetrical all-wheel drive plus 28 miles per gallon. More than a car, it's a Subaru. By Tough Shed, we are more than great sheds. Check them out at toughshed.com. And by Simpson Chevrolet, big enough to deal, small enough to care.
Halo still up 2-1 as we start the 5th here at Marlins Park. Mike Trout to lead things off.
That is fantastic.
Fantastic.
Yes.
That is fantastic.
Yes. I'm just sitting there and enjoying it.
You are easily amused.
Oh, well.
Trout, Valbuena, and Calhoun.
Has there ever been question about that?
Jose Urena, 85 pitches after throwing 42 in the 4th inning, but he's gotten out of 2 bases loaded jams the last 2 innings. Trout struck out in the 1st and got Trout to ground out in the 3rd with the bases loaded 2 outs. Two balls, no strikes. 4 walks in the inning for Urena. As the Angels send 8 men to the plate.
That's the most he's walked in the game is 4, and he walked 4 in 1 inning.
2-1.
I think Trout will like that one back, that pitch.
And there's a strike. That pitch wasn't a strike. In off the plate, Tom Woodring.
Yeah, this pitch on a 3-1 pitch, Trout takes that pitch off the plate. Called a strike, though. The 7th full count of the game for Urena today.
That pitch is a strike, but it doesn't get called.
That was the glare back, the pitch before. Borderline, but another walk. Upper part of the strike zone could have been called easily in the strike zone. Trout maybe on the move. 9 stolen bases in 10 attempts.
Valbuena is 0 for 2 with a pop-up and a strikeout. I agree with you, trying to get Trout on the move here, even trying to hit and run just to see if he can get Valbuena somehow locked in. Oh. And that's out towards center field. Yelich moving back on it, has a beat.
And a lot of times you'll put a hit and run on. This you can get a hitter who's been struggling to kind of shorten up the swing and think in terms of hitting the ball on the ground instead of hitting the ball in the air like Luis's did. Even though he hit it pretty well, still underneath it, you want a more level swing. See more of an uppercut on that pitch going down and away. If you have a hit and run on, you're going to level it off and try to line it on the ground.
So Valbuena is 0 for 3. Here's Calhoun, 0 for 1 with a walk and a run scored.
And you have another hitter, same thing, struggling. And something away. Cole does a good job as far as lining that ball potentially to left center field if it's a fastball or even a changeup away. Trout will be on the move. He is.
He is. The pitch is down low, and Trout picks up a stolen base, and it looks like he may have jammed his left hand, Gooby.
Right away, he's showing it and moving his hand quickly. Mike Scioscia. Eric Munson running out to him. Straight steal. See where the hand on the base? Right there, the thumb. Hope it's just one of those things, a little more of a stinger first, and then you can start to move that thumb. It's always the dangerous thing on the head first slide. And that left thumb.
Or he just gave Mike the old I'm all right.
You see him trying to move that thumb around. Jammed it on the base. A lot of times you'll see base runners with that little thumb guard and the hand protector.
One-0 count on Cole. 2-0. Tenth stolen base of the year for Mike.
Still trying to move that hand around. Still doesn't look real comfortable.
Three balls, no strikes.
Oh, quite a few of those sliders off the plate in.
Yeah, he's kind of gone away from his fastball the last couple of innings.
And even his changeup drifting away against a left-handed batter. Expect Cole to get a green light here if he gets a fastball, though, even though he's been struggling. He was ready, but it was a high fastball. Another walk. 6 walks in the game.
.98 pitches with 1 out here in the 5th. Juan Nieves is going to go out once again.
Boy, Trout's going back. The bases to go through is simulated on a swing just to see how it's going to feel, that thumb. Still moving it around.
It looked like he just told Cologne there as well. You know, it looked like Christian just asked him.
Yeah. Still talking about that. You'll see that on occasion for base stealers when they go in that head first slide as they try to stay on the base. Part of it is now because you could be safe, but you got to make sure you stay connected to the base. And a lot of times you'll see either a shortstop or second baseman try to keep that tag connected, moving that thumb around as much as possible.
Brad Ziegler getting ready
In the 5th inning.
Yeah. Maldonado with a home run and a strikeout. Takes upstairs.
Boy, you have to capitalize against a number of these walks here now. Martin with a big 2-run home run in the 4th after a walk to Cole.
Chow standing at second, Calhoun at first. Halos with a lot of base runners, a lot of traffic the last 3 innings, but just 2 runs so far.
Another one of those borderline inside part of the plate. Pitch is called a strike.
One and two, as this one will find its place in the seats.
Yeah, his most effective pitches have been fastballs in against right-handed batters today.
Pulled foul. Ground ball to third. Dietrich backs up on it, goes to second for one. The relay back to first. Low throw dug out by Bohr. And that's an inning-ending double play. We'll head to the bottom of the fifth inning. The Angels up 2-1. Trout, who jammed his thumb, sliding into second, appears to be all right. He had to come off the field. He intended to. They just wanted to double check. You always got to make sure that everything is 100% with him. He's going to tell you that he wants to go out and play regardless, but you got to make sure that he's all right. He's out in center. And even playing catch with me, but didn't look like anything serious or anything was bothering him, so that's good. The big test will come when he swings the bat.
Especially if Urania's still in the game, how many fastballs he throws inside. Big inning here for Shoemaker.
Dietrich, Cologne, and then the pitcher spot. So Urania more than likely done. Dietrich a ground out in the second inning. He'll hit one out toward right center field. Cole was shading him that way, not going to get there. It'll go to the wall. Dietrich on his way to second, and he's going to slam on the brakes there. It's a leadoff double.
The reason why I said this inning's so important, so many chances for the Angels with all those walks. Unable to capitalize, and that fastball drifted right in the middle of the plate. Wanted to go away, stayed hard at the plate, and Dietrich picks up a 6th double this season. Long look down at third. Cologne may be asked to square around and bunt. It's like Ichiro on deck.
How about that line? 5 innings, 3 hits, 7 strikeouts, 6 walks, just 2 runs. It's clean living.
Well, the old saying, effectively wild.
Yep. Pick off attempt and quick tag.
It's amazing how quick that tag is for Simmons.
Cologne hit a fly ball to left at his first at bat. A bunt. That's a good one. Shoemaker's plays to first. Cologne retired on the sac bunt. Dietrich to third base.
More like you'll see the infield in with Ichiro at the plate.
.148 average for Ichiro. 0 for 2 as a pinch hitter in the series. 4 for 29 of the season. 2 on a hitless in the bottom of the 5th with 1 out. Top of the order, and JT Riddle on deck.
Most hits all time versus the Angels. Ichiro third on that list, 276. George Brett all timer as far as hits versus the Angels with 282. Yaz right below him. Cal Ripken Jr. fourth all time.
One count. Outfield playing shallow, infield in. Dietrich a leadoff double, move to third on the sacrifice bunt. Two. One upstairs.
Twice in this at bat, he's throwing a high fastball to Ichiro. .15 strikeouts and 61 at bats. Pretty difficult to strike out Ichiro, but a chance right now for Shoemaker to do so.
2-2, ripped to right field, and that'll fall in for a base hit. We're tied at 2. Ichiro picks up his 4th RBI of the season.
And another hit against the Angels in his career. Went down and got a splitter. Look how difficult it is to strike him out. Went down and got that splitter on the outside corner.
So we're tied at 2, and here's JT Riddle.
13 hits behind Hall of Famer Rod Carew on the all-time list.
Riddle drives one out to right. Cole back, and that one's into the bullpen. A 2-run blast by JT Riddle, and Miami leads it 4-2.
Riddle has shown a quick bat. And a mistake upstairs. 2nd home run of the game for the Marlins. 91-mile-an-hour fastball, hard of the plate. Shoemaker knew it.
Riddle with his third of the year, now with 12 RBIs. And now you've got Stanton.
Already 2 for 2 in the game.
And you said it, though. I mean, you look at the last couple of innings for the Angels, plenty of opportunities to add runs, and have not capitalized on it. Angels living on the edge, and all of a sudden, this game's turned around. 4-2 Fish. We're the fifth. They're still batting with 1 out. Stanton 2 for 2 with a home run and a single. .72 pitches, 71 pitches, pardon me, for Shoemaker.
Missed by
3 balls, no strikes.
Quite a bit on that pitch.
Yeah. Home run thing still moving. It's alive. 3-1.
Stanton not swinging on the green light. That was a pretty tough pitch, too, to shoot through right down the heart.
Big swing. Mike Moore just off the disabled list. Starts getting ready. Yelich on deck. Little dribble back toward the mound. 2 down. They spent Memorial Day with the Halos tomorrow with the Braves in town. Remember, it's a 6:07 start. Fans in attendance get a post-game fireworks show. For more information on Memorial Day fireworks, presented by State Farm, just go to angels.com. Two outs, nobody on, and Yelich 0 for 2 is at the plate.
Good splitter there from Shoemaker.
How about a guy in Urania that strikes out 7 career high, walks 6 career high, and after going 5 innings in line for a W.
Yep.
Ground ball right side, that'll sneak through. Marte didn't go after that baseball. He was the only guy that had the best shot at it. So it's a 2-out single. And it'll bring up Marcell Ozuna. Now, Urania had been the beneficiary of some run support. 6.35 runs support per start this year. The highest rate of any Marlins starter. And that's going to be it for Matt Shoemaker. Unable to get through the fifth with 2 outs. Mike Moore is coming on in relief. It's a 4-2 Marlins lead.
Is being brought to you by the all-new 2017 Chrysler Pacifica Hybrid. Go the distance with 84 mpg and a 566 total driving range. By Mercury Insurance, we're on a mission to save you money. Log on to mercuryinsurance.com to get a fast free quote and see how much you can save. And by GMC.
The Marlins on top by the score of 4-2 with 2 outs here at the bottom of the 5th inning. Mike Moore gets summoned from the bullpen. 7 hits for the Marlins. Moore pitching in his 5th game, no record, 8.10 ERA, 6 2/3 innings, 8 hits, 3 strikeouts. And guy that was dealing with a neck issue, neck into the back of the shoulder. Took him a while to come back, but it's good to see him finally go through the rehab process and see if he can contribute to this Angels bullpen and keep this right here. It's just a 2-run lead as we play here in the 5th inning. Shoemaker, 3 strikeouts, no walks, 7 hits, 2 of which were home runs. Marcell Ozuna at the plate. He's 0 for 2, a couple of fly balls to right field.
Mike Moore said he finally feels healthy. It's been a long time.
This will be just a half-inning situation. You're just trying to get this last down. The pitcher spot's due up 3rd. Well, the Angels come to the plate in the 6th. Good changeup.
And keep in mind, Albert Pujols will be available to pinch hit. Cliff Pennington getting loose.
Little dribbler toward 3rd base. Valbuena's going to have to hurry. Can't barehanded. So Ozuna will reach the infield base hit. What a great pitch by Moore as well. 2 on, 2 outs.
Change up well out in front. They're playing back, especially with 2 strikes. Balbuena had to come all the way in, had to use the bare hand to try to make any play at all. Ozuna runs very well. He's up with an infield single.
Moore takes a strike. First baseman 1 for 2. First appearance in a big league game for Moore since April 19th at Houston. Baltimore, the 8th man to come to the plate here in the 5th. No balls, 2 strikes. Fastball. Good idea. Just misses off the plate.
Yeah, try to get him to chase that one.
Montana in the shift has it. 3rd out recorded, but the Marlins strike for 3 as we head to the 6th inning. Miami on top 4-2. Aaron Hills for one of golf's most anticipated events of the year. Dustin Johnson looks to defend his title, but Jason Day, Jordan Spieth, and Rory McIlroy are primed to take golf's ultimate test and be crowned America's champion. The 117th U.S. Open begins June 15th on Fox FS1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Good old Aaron Hills will be, as always, every U.S. Open track.
Wow.
It's going to be a tough one, especially with that rough.
Tough test. You know the greens are super fast also.
Top of the 6th inning, Brad Ziegler takes over on the mound. Second consecutive appearance for him. Went an inning and a 3rd yesterday, gave up a run on 2 hits, struck out 2, and issued 1 intentional walk. He gets Marte, Fontana, and then the pitcher spot. Ziegler 1-2 with a 7.08 ERA. This will be his 24th appearance of the season. Jeffrey Marte with a single, a walk, and a stolen base. Angels have stranded 7 base runners over the last 3 innings, twice leaving them loaded. That's a pretty close pitch. Yeah. 2 balls and a strike. caught the corner. Watch it, got him right on the ankle.
Well, that was that loud.
On board the hard way.
Well, you can hear that all the way up here. Runs that fastball in. Hopefully it got majority of that shin guard.
Fontana with a strikeout and a walk. It was 0 for 1. Also picked up a stolen bases, first at the major league level. Cliff Penick has come out to the on deck circle, so he'll bat the pitcher spot. 1-1.
Some room down that third baseline. If Fontana wanted to bunt down the third baseline, he had 4 bunt hits for Salt Lake City.
Yeah, Dietrich off the base and back. Ground ball toward the middle, and is a nice play by Cologne, and they turn the double play, 2 down.
Cologne's always been a good glove, no matter where he's played in an infield. Brittle with a lot on that relay. 4-6-3 double play turned well by the Marlins.
Paddington looks at a strike. 236 on the season. He's 0 for 4 as a pinch hitter. Morin is done after a third of an inning. Gives up the infield base hit. Nothing else. One and 2. Meanwhile, Houston leading Baltimore 6-3 in the third. Seattle 1-0 over Boston. Cleveland's opened it up against Kansas City 9-1. Texas leading 3-1 over Toronto. That one just missed in. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Looks like the Angels have Deolis Guerra getting ready. Pitch the bottom of the 6th. This is out toward right center field. Yelich is there. And the Angels are done here in the 6th. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th. And the Marlins on top 4-2. Stolen base. Went into a headfirst slide. Looked like he jammed that left thumb that came out and checked on him. Mike never really a guy that shows a whole lot of emotion, especially when a little injury like this, but clearly hurt there. And then took a bat downstairs, looked to try to swing the bat. And after trying to do so, you get Eric Munson come up to tell Scioscia that it's a no-go. And so Mike is out of the game. And Dino Evil letting Cameron Maybin know that he's going out to center field, and Ben Revere will patrol left.
Hopefully it'll just be a day-to-day type thing for Mike Trout.
Well, that's all you can hope for in these type of situations when you're talking about the best player in baseball. Dale Esguerra on the mound. This will be his 13th game. 2-2 record, a 3.94 ERA. And he comes into a 4-2 deficit. He's going to face Real Muto, Dietrich, and Colon. 6, 7, and 8 for the Angels here in the bottom of the 6th. Revere goes into Trout's spot of the order, so Ben will be due up third. Angels come up in the 7th. First one's in for a strike. Real Muto 0 for 2. He struck out on the 2nd, popped out on the 4th. This is back toward the middle past Simmons, and it's a base hit. Maybe to the backhand. And Real Muto, seeing the approach that Maybin took on that ball, took advantage of it and gets a double out of it.
Boy, credit Real Muto for going and thinking double out of the batter's box. You don't think so. You see Maybin playing, hit the ball to right center field, but that angle, a deeper angle, he saw that, recognized it, slides in for a 6th double. The catcher being aggressive. You see him looking exactly where Maybin was playing and then take that shot to get in a scoring position.
Dietrich's the man that got things started for the Marlins in the 5th with a doubles. This one's lifted out toward right center field. Maybin is there. Makes a catch, spins around, fires it in. Real Muto advanced to third. One out. Here comes Colon to the plate. And this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Los Angeles Angels and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Angels Baseball LP.
Infield will be brought back in again, it looks like.
Colon, the fly ball to left in the 3rd inning, had a sacrifice bunt in the 5th, so he is 0 for 1.
What was that possibility of a suicide squeeze?
Well, especially with a guy like Colon that can handle the bat well. One ball, no strikes. Middle infield playing halfway. Simmons and Fontana. Marte's in on the grass at first.
Pretty good spot on that outside corner, didn't get called.
Two balls and no strikes. Looks like Tyler Moore has come out to the on deck circle to be pinch hitting the pitcher spot. Two one. Off the plate.
Now Clone could sit and look fastball. Guerra has a plus changeup. More likely has to go at him with the fastball now.
Off speed, popped up. Valbuena near the railing, runs out of room. Full count. Four-two Marlins here at the bottom of the sixth inning. A three-run fifth, giving them the lead. 3-2 check swing. Looked like he went. He did not. Ron Colpo, the first base umpire, says he did. Scioscia's not happy.
Yeah, the coaching staff not real happy with that non-call. He crossed the plate on that one. Got away with it.
Runners at the corners, and it's Tyler Moore at the plate. 19 games this year, 220 batting average, 222, pardon me, a double, a home run, 4 RBIs. He's been really good in these situations. 5 for 15 with a home run and 4 runs batted in as a pinch hitter. Looking for a double play ball.
Yeah, that means he's going to be aggressive generally on first pitch.
And he gets one out to left field. Realmuto back to tag. The throw goes to second. It's a sacrifice fly. Makes it 5-2 Marlins. So leadoff double by Realmuto comes back to haunt.
The number 9 spot in the order for the Marlins is effective. Ichiro with a RBI single, Moore with a sac fly.
2 outs at the top of the order coming up. JT Riddle snapped the 2-2 tie with his 2-run blast in the 5th. Good off speed pitch. No balls, 2 strikes. Angels with 2 runs on 3 hits, but left 7 on base. 5 runs, 9 hits, an error, and 4 left on for the Fish.
Another good off-speed pitch from Guerra.
Another 0-2. This is shot down the left field line. That could be trouble. That's a fair ball. Racing around is Cologne. He's going to score on the RBI double by J.T. Riddle. 6-2 Marlins. Garrett trying to sneak a fastball up on him.
Pretty good piece of hit. You see how he shortened up on that swing and punched it right down the left field line. Homered his last at bat, doubles. Rivera unable to get to that baseball quickly. A little bit of a bobble. Cologne able to come all the way around to score.
Stanton today 2 for 3 with a home run and a single. Riddle, by the way, a 3 RBI game. One ball with strike. So Garrett allowing 2 runs so far here in the 6th inning. 10 hits now for the Fish. Two and one.
Yeah, Stanton really a lot more patient this season. It's not expanded his strike zone a whole lot. Talked about it in that first game. He's moved closer to the plate.
Fouled back. I got it, Martin. Maldonado, a little breather. Two balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs. Full count. Yelich on deck. Down goes Stanton. And we head to the 7th. Marlins on top 6-2. Brought to you by T-Mobile. Josh Tomlin today, 7 innings, 1 earned run. Indians leading the Royals 10-1. Danny Duffy got the start for Kansas City in that one. Dodgers going for the 3-game sweep over the Chicago Cubs. They won the first 2 games via the shutout, 4-0 and 5-0. How about a little showstopper throughout Major League Baseball? Aaron Judge doing it again, this time at home and going the opposite way with the Yankees down 2-1 and the bases loaded. Grand salami time.
16th home run of the season for Aaron Judge, tying Mike Trout for that lead in Major League Baseball. 34th RBI with a grand slam, hit .316. What a season he has had already for the Yankees.
12 of the 16 home runs at home this year for Judge. As David Phelps takes over on the mound here in the 7th. The Angels down by the score of 6-2. Third consecutive game for Phelps. This will be his 23rd on the season. 2-2 and a 3.28 ERA. Maben, Simmons, and Revere. Revere in Trout's spot, taken out of the game because of the slide, injuring his left hand. The slide on the stolen base in the 5th. Cameron, a strikeout, single, and a walk. 1 for 2.
Maybe another solid game. A single and a walk today.
Takes a called strike 3 for the first out of the 7th.
That pitch has been called quite a bit. Hyundai key for this game, going back to it today. He wasted time no more, jumping on the first pitch fastball. Had some chances, especially early on, a couple bases loaded opportunities with 6 walks, but unable to do anything with it outside of the 2-run home run. One of those walks scored after Maldonado's 2-run shot.
Andrelton 0 for 3, a strikeout, a line out, a fly ball to left. Ben Revere waiting on deck. It would be his first plate appearance. One ball, 2 strikes. Simmons shoots one past Bohr and into right field. Stanton over to cut it off. Andrelton will stop. No, he'll keep going as Stanton bobbles the baseball. So it goes a single and an error on Stanton.
Good swing by Simmons. Back in the 5th inning with Mike Trout on first. Steals his 10th bag of the season, but jams his left hand and thumb into that base. Eventually had to lead the game, and Ben Revere now hitting in Mike Trout's spot. He would try to get down there and swing a bat. Wasn't comfortable doing so. Mike Scioscia goes and brings in Ben Revere last inning. Will be hitting in his spot right now here in the 7th.
By the way, Simmons gets credit with a double, not a single and an error. He'll take it. 11th of the year. 10-game hitting streak now. Revere looks at a strike. Ben comes in batting .222. 5 doubles, 2 triples, a home run, and 4 RBIs.
Still plenty of baseball left here in Marlins Park. An opportunity to get at least one home here.
This is it towards short. Riddle is there. 2 down. And actually, they changed the call now on Simmons, single and an error, which is what it should have been.
Yep. He wasn't going. He stopped.
No, yeah.
Tell you what, Riddle's had himself a very solid game, both at the plate and in the field.
There's already talk when Danny Echeverria comes back that he's a guy that the Marlins could trade, get some guys in return, and just keep JT Riddle at the shortstop position. It's filled in nicely, batting in the leadoff spot today with no D. Gordon. Buena takes up and in. Now Bueno for 3.
That backdoor cut fastball for Phelps. Fastball is going to be 92, 97. Cutter, curve, changeup.
Two balls, 2 strikes.
Again, getting that lift on the swing. That was something that was talked quite a bit with the Astros, and their philosophy is trying to create lift on the baseball, take advantage of that short porch in left and in right field. Trying to get back to a more level swing for Luis Valbuena.
Bueno lifts it out toward left center field. Ozuna calling for it. And it's stretch time in Miami with the Fish leading the Angels 6-2. of the 7th inning here at Marlins Park. The rubber game of the series between these two ball clubs. The Angels wrapping up this 10-game homestand. Will head home tomorrow, Memorial Day. Kick off a 3-game set against the Atlanta Braves, and it's a 4-game set against the Minnesota Twins. And it's an off day on Monday the 5th, which isn't really an off day since the Angels will travel after the game on Sunday. So decompression day,
yes.
A recharge day, I guess, if you will.
Exactly.
Tigers at Comerica Park for 3, and then it's on to Houston for a 3-game set.
In the Marlins club, we talked about how well they could swing the bat. They certainly have today, taking the lead. JT Riddle in the 5th inning. It's our top tier play brought to you by Arco. He's able to turn on a fastball, inner part of the plate, got the barrel of the bat, drives that one well out to right center field. He's had a big game. That was a 2-run home run, 3 RBI for Riddle on this game today.
Second inning of work for Dale Escuro. There's JT Riddle. And in the meantime, Jose Urena is the pitcher of record for the Marlins. 6 walks in his 5 innings of work, 3 hits, and allowed just 2 runs. Three, 4, 5 for the Fish. Yelich, Ozuna, and Bohr. Yelich 1 for 3 with a base hit in the 5th inning. Good off speed, 1-2.
Well, Yelich has a very solid swing, though. Very good young player for the Marlins. Westlake High School.
Two. This one now toward left, hit well toward the corner, and it goes foul.
Well, you can see that power that he has even going the other way for Yelich. And just foul down the left field line towards the wall. Just going foul. That 344 sign. Very impressive the other way for Yelich.
Breaking ball got him looking. He knew it. 1 down.
Backdoor breaking ball by Dale Escuro. Blocks him up. Their fastball away, gets him on a curveball away. Well, you look at this core of the outfield here for the Marlins. They're pretty set for a lot of years. Some young talent.
Well, Yelich and Stanton locked up. As soon as arbitration eligible coming up. Won't be a free agent until 2020. 1 for 3 today. Base hit in the 5th. That was an infield knock. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Martin Maldonado giving the Angels a 2-1 lead in the 4th inning. The Angels subsequently loaded him up after that with 1 out. Got nothing out of it. Loaded him up in the 5th with 2 outs. Got nothing out of that. Then the Marlins scored 3 in the bottom of the 5th, 2 in the 6th. You always talk about the momentum shift. It certainly shifted that way for the Marlins.
Yeah, when you have chances like that, especially when you're giving gift runners, that's via the base on balls, you have to take advantage of as an offense, and the Angels unable to do so.
Yeah, 4 walks in that 4th inning, 1 scored, and that was on the home run by Maldonado. The other 3 stranded. Chopper left side, Valbuena. Low throw, and Marte has it. 2 down. Mattingly's going to have a look at it.
See if Marte was able to keep his foot on the base as he stretched out to get the low throw from Luis Valbuena. The low throw. Yeah, his foot's on the base.
2 down, nobody on. And it's Justin Bour coming up.
Boy, just looking at that Houston score, they got 8 runs against Baltimore now. They are.
Yeah.
They play every game at home. You're joking about
right
that
away.
before. 30 games at home already.
Yeah, they scored early. You had mentioned, what was it, 2 runs in the 1st inning. Baltimore scored 1 in the 2nd. It's making 3-0. And then Houston answered with 6 at the bottom of the 3rd. Or bottom of the 2nd, pardon me.
And Baltimore really struggling. They've lost 6 in a row and positioned now to lose 7 in a row.
Seattle still up 2-0 on Baltimore. Texas leading Toronto 3-1. Yankees 7-5 leading Oakland in the 8th. That game's getting a little closer to.
In that ballpark in New York, Yankee Stadium, anything hitting the air to right field, the right center field always has a chance to make a game close and out of the ballpark there.
Three balls, no strikes. Meanwhile, in Chicago, Miguel Gonzalez has yet to allow a single base runner through 5. White Sox leading the Tigers 5-0 in the 5th. 2 out, 4 pitch walk. Brings up Real Muto. One for 3 game. Led off the 6th inning with a double. Scored 1 of the 2 runs. No balls and a strike. Double for Real Muto, his 6th. One and 2. Six-two Fish here in the 7th. Not a big lead for Bohr at all at first base. Bouncer back to the mound, knocked down by Davis. And we'll head to the 8th inning. Angels will have Calhoun, Maldonado, Marte coming up, down by 4.
Trailing the Marlins by the score 6-2. I'm Patrick O'Neill. Hope you stick around after this one for Angels Live, brought to you by your SoCal Mazda dealers. Of course, the big news right now is Mike Trout. Presently, we do not have any information regarding his injury to his thumb or his hand. He had to leave this game after stealing his 10th bag of the season in the top of the 5th inning, as you see right here. Now, teams throughout baseball are very specific about the chain of command, about injuries. It goes to baseball operations, then it goes to PR, then it goes to us with the broadcast, then we're able to give it to you. If we don't have it during the broadcast, hopefully our Angels Live postgame show. If not, then at least Mike Soshin will put it up on the web at foxsportswest.com. But, you know, Victor and Mark, you know, let's say it's good news and they just say, oh, a jammed thumb. They're still going to have to check things out when we get back to L.A. So whatever we get today may very well be very vague, but still, hopefully, good news.
I tell you what, when we get a guy like Trout, especially in a tight game, be able to go downstairs and try to see if he's all right and not be able to return. That tells you, even just the reaction that Mike had when he came up off the base there, it's never a good sign. You just hope for the best now, and hopefully tests come back on the positive side for Mike and the Angels.
Yeah, the only thing you can remember is back at 2015 when he went to try to make a play in the outfield and jammed his thumb and wrist area on the glove side and didn't miss any time. Struggled a little bit at the plate for a bit, but he didn't miss any time. So hopefully that's a situation for Mike Soshin's glove here that Trout doesn't miss much time, if any at all.
Nick Whitgren takes over on the mound here in the 8th. Phelps went 1 inning, allowed a hit, struck out a man. Colo for 1 with a couple of walks. One, 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Maldonado on deck. Full count. Cole go down swinging, one away. Take a look at the in-game box score for the Angels, and just a total of 4 hits, one of which was the home run by Maldonado. Just haven't been able to get that big hit with men in scoring position today and expand on that 2-1 lead. Instead, it's a 6-2 deficit here in the 8th with 1 out, nobody on. Maldonado didn't miss it back in the 4th inning when he hit his home run, 3rd of the year. Now with 14 runs batted in.
Well, he really has been impressive at the plate and behind the plate. The number of games leading the American League in that category as far as games caught started.
Maldonado lifting, 1 out to left. Ozuna coming in. 2 down. Base is clear for Jeffrey Marte, who's been on board 3 times. Singled at his first at bat. Walked in his second plate appearance and then hit by a pitch his last time up. Ziegler got him in the ankle. Jeffrey getting to start at first base today. No Albert Pujols in the lineup.
Trying to get some kind of offense generated here. That's a pretty good pitch if you want to let it go. If you're Marte, a fastball, especially that plane, going into the barrel of the bat.
One and 2. Marte, big rip, fouls it back.
He was all over that high fastball. And likely after you see a swing like that, you're going to get a slider.
Another good hack. Fontana on deck. Back-to-back starts for Nolan at second base. That's some work before the game defensively out on the field. No BP on the field for either team. Nolan got some work in, as did Marte. 2-2. Certainly tell that Fontana's got some serious abilities on the defensive side of things.
Yeah, very good range. A nice play again today.
Full count.
There's been quite a few of those today, full counts by Marlin pitchers.
Whitgren, the third reliever, used by Don Mattingly. And Marte foul tips that one into the mid. And the Angels are down in orders. We head to the bottom of the 8th inning. 6-2 Florida. Throughout Major League Baseball, we mentioned the Astros leading the Orioles 8-3. Toronto dropped the final game to Texas 3-1. Texas snapping their 5-game losing streak. Seattle leading Boston 3-0. San Diego over Washington in the top of the 4th inning. Cincinnati leading Philadelphia in the 9th, and Milwaukee Brewers 7-1 leading the Arizona Diamondbacks top of the 6th inning.
Milwaukee still, they're in first place in that NL Central. The Cubbies struggling.
David Hernandez on the pitch here, takes over for Dale Esguerro. Marlins setting up Dietrich, Colon, and then the pitcher spot. It'll pop up to third. Valbuena, 1 down.
Well, when you look at Major League Baseball right now, the teams leading divisions, a lot of surprises. You got Colorado in the NL West, Milwaukee in the NL Central. You expected it. The Nationals in the NL East. The Astros certainly a very good club in the AL West, but Minnesota in the AL Central, even the Yankees, a surprise. And all the conversation all winter long was the Boston Red Sox.
Nice play at first base by Jeffrey Marte. 2 down. MLB.TV Premium is back and better than ever. Watch every out-of-market regular season game live on over 400 supported devices. Plus, get a free subscription to AppBat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Go to MLB.TV for details.
Perfect game still going on in Chicago for the White Sox. Miguel Gonzalez.
Through 6 now?
Yep.
D. Gordon pinch hitting in the pitcher spot. .279 batting average. Two on. 3-1. Halos in the 9th have 8-9 and 1 due up. Fontana, the pitcher spot, and Maben. Two-out walk. Dale Esguerro, by the way, 2 innings, 2 hits, 2 strikeouts, 2 walks, 2 runs.
Well, JT Riddle's had himself a game today for the Marlins.
3 RBIs today.
And speaking of having a game, he is our Land Rover above and beyond player of the game, JT Riddle. 2-run home run and an RBI double. That's in back-to-back at bats for Riddle.
2 balls, no strikes. Hernandez gets the first 2 batters easily, then walks Gordon and falls behind here on Riddle. Four hits for the Angels, 10 for the Fish.
Big lead, doing a nice job holding the baseball.
Gordon's on the move to throw down a second and safe at second.
Stolen base. Dino Evil going to call in to Steve Salisis to make sure that Gordon got the hand in. Quick tag, perfect throw. Just a big jump. Hands in air. Does he stay connected to the base all the way through? That's the question. Certainly beats the throw. Now is that body off the base at that point? There is some separation.
I mean, the hands come off. Tag supplied the whole time. Not enough to garner a challenge. Man in scoring position, a 3-0 count and a 4-pitch walk. So back-to-back walks with 2 outs here in the 8th. And it gives Stanton an opportunity to bat. Command just went away from David Hernandez here with 2 outs. Stanton 2 for 4 so far this afternoon with a home run in the first, a single in the 4th. Little bouncer back to Shoemaker in the 5th, and he struck out in the 6th. Little dribbler towards short. Simmons has to come in on it and has no play. So the bases are loaded for the Marlins. And Christian Yelich coming up.
Playing back as far as you're going to play when you got Stanton at the plate out in front. End up trying to pull that pitch away. And Simba trying to come in on the transfer to be able to fire the ball across to get Stanton, but Stanton runs well. There'll be no play even if you're able to control the baseball.
Oh, 1 count. Yelich 1 for 4 today. Had a base hit in the 5th. Gordon at third. Riddle at second. Stanton at first. 0-1. Foul at the plate. No balls, 2 strikes.
good of a pitch, 0-2, and that's why you're seeing Martin Maldonado run out to talk to David Hernandez. Reaffirm the fact is you can throw something a little bit out of the strike zone. Trust me behind the plate that I'll keep it in front of you.
Oh, 2. Yelich lays off. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Yeah, case in point. Trust him. He's going to keep that slider in front of him in the dirt to see if he can get Yelich to expand and chase it. Almost did.
Back-to-back 2-out walks and an infield base hit. 1-2.
See if he can get in the chase. A slider down and in. Finish off this inning with no damage.
Yelich bounces it foul.
Tried to get him to go after that slider.
Mike Trout, by the way, left today's game with a left thumb sprain.
Just like we thought it was the thumb.
X-rays negative, no fracture. Two-two. Looked like a fan just wore that one off his chest. Hopefully he's all right.
A lot of youngsters at the game here today.
Full count.
By the way, the perfect game over in Chicago. Detroit scored a run.
You got Dietrich to pop out, Colon to ground out. Since then, 2 walks, a single, and now a 3-2 count on Yelich. 23 pitches thrown by David Hernandez here in the bottom of the 8th. Runners take off. Yelich fouls it back.
It's been a long at bat. He's fouled off some tough pitches also. Ten pitches already.
Another 3-2. Yelich works the walk. It's 7-2 Marlins. 3rd walk of the inning issued by Hernandez.
See all the different pitches away, and then a lot of sliders in the inner half of the plate, and then that 4-seam fastball off the inside corner.
Will force the Angels to start getting some action now in the pen. Marcell Ozuna, the left fielder's 1 for 4. Had a base hit in the 5th, and he'll take low. Keenan Middleton warming up in a hurry.
One of those looks as a pitching coach. Frustrating because your stuff is there. All of a sudden start aiming pitches.
And
that could have been called a strike, but when you're not consistently in the strike zone, those borderline pitches are not called. See the upper part of the strike zone here. Hits the upper part. Not called though.
29th pitch of the inning for David. And Ozuna punches one to right field, a base hit. It'll bring in one for sure. Being stopped at third is Stanton. Bobbled by Calhoun, and Stanton will take the extra 90 feet. It is 9-2. Cole with his second error of the season.
Pretty good indication how quick this infield is. Ball was hit well by Ozuna going the other way. But lightning fast, this field. Bobble and allows Stanton to come around to score. Mike Sosa down the bullpen. Middleton going to come in. 9-2 Marlins.
And the inning continues here in the bottom of the 8th. Keenan Middleton takes over, trying to get this third and final out. And he'll be facing Justin Bour, the 8th man to come to the plate. 11th game for Keenan. No record in a 3.12 ERA. Runners at first and third.
That's the pitch for Middleton. He's getting better with, more comfortable throwing his slider for a strike. You have to establish that first, and then you go to the wipeout swing and miss slider. And his fastball, we know how well he can throw that one, 95 to 98 range, but the slider, very important.
1 ball, 1 strike. Rough inning for David Hernandez, especially for an inning that started rather easily. 2 quick outs. Yeah, Dietrich on the first pitch, right? A little pop-up to Valbuena.
So unusual for David Hernandez not to throw strikes. All of a sudden just went away from him. 3 walks in the inning for him.
Two.
Good life on that 97-mile-an-hour fastball from Middleton.
This is flipped down a left field line, slicing foul.
This place will certainly be rocking in a little over a month. The All-Star game here. .99 off the outside corner, though. Should be a lot of fun for baseball fans. This ballpark, this city.
Osuna will take off from first base, and Bohr fouls it into the dugout. Three runs in here in the 8th. All 3 charged to Hernandez. He's responsible for the 2 guys on base. Real Muto on deck. And down goes Bohr. We head to the 9th with the Marlins on top, 9-2. Game on your TV. You can stream them live on your mobile device with Fox Sports Go. Download the app and take Fox Sports West and Angels Baseball with you wherever you go. It's presented by Fios by Frontier. Top of the 9th inning. It's 9-2. Marlins on top. New pitcher on for the Fish. A.J. Ramos comes in to get some work in as the Angels will set up 8-9-1. Looks like Danny Espinosa will get a pinch hitting appearance, batting in the pitcher spot, so he's on deck. Ramos 5 saves, 17 games, a 1-2 record, a 5.28 ERA. Little dribbler up the first base line. Real Muto comes out and throws out Fontana for the first down. Nice play.
And not only to range to get that baseball, a good throw with a runner going down the line like that. Not an easy play at all. And a perfect throw. The feed has to be on the field side of that bag.
Here's Espinosa. It's the pitcher spot. Fastball off the plate. One. Then he takes low. 2 balls and a strike. Matt Shoemaker on the hook. He would take the loss. That would drop his mark to 4-3 on the season. Gave up 4 runs at 4 2/3. 7 hits, 2 of which were home runs. Struck out 3 and walked none. Jose Urania gave up 2 runs in his 5 innings of work. On the verge of picking up his 3rd win, as that one's not even close. 3-1.
Certainly some opportunities early in the game for the Angels. Unable to capitalize on all the walks.
6 of them to be exact by Urania. And there's a walk. So Espinosa's on board for Cameron Maybin. A tough 10-game road trip for the Angels. 4-5 coming into play today. Espinosa will take second. Maybin lifts one out towards center, or probably towards second, I should say. Espinosa's got to hurry back to make sure he doesn't get doubled up. 2 outs. The Angels on the verge of going 4-6 on this 10-game road trip. On a road trip on paper that you thought you had a chance to maybe pick up some ground, or at least pick up some W's. A little separation between yourselves and the teams behind you. Houston playing so well, but just couldn't take advantage of it.
Especially the momentum from a solid homestand, a solid home record overall. 15-8 for the Angels.
Simmons takes inside. Well, they return home tomorrow to play the Atlanta Braves. 3-game series, 6:07 first pitch. And then the Minnesota Twins in town for 4. Two balls, no strikes. Bouncer to third. Dietrich backs up on it. He'll go to second, and the Angels drop the final game of the series by the final of 9-2.
Boy, it started out so promising, being up 2-1 through 4, some chances, but J.D. Riddle with an excellent game, driving in 3 home runs. Stanton with a home run in the first inning, as the Miami Marlins end up winning the series 2-1, winning today 9-2 on 12 hits.
And the Marlins poured it on, and they poured it on late. Urania picks up the win. He's 3-2 on the season. Matt Shoemaker suffers a loss. He falls to 4-3 as the Angels drop this one by the final of 9-2. Stick around, Angels Live post game.